less than 3 weeks, something miraculous happens. Cells duplicate, creating an exact replica of your body's blueprint. To become 4, then 8, and by the end of the month, there are 64 brand new cells where there was once just one. Life literally doubles before your eyes. But what if it went wrong? What if these cells didn't stop when they should have? They kept on duplicating, consuming nutrients, growing, forming a mass. Welcome to the dark side of the miracle of human duplication. Today we're answering a viewer's question. If you had a perfectly healthy gut yesterday, could you get cancer today? If so, how fast could it grow? It's a scary thought. But the good news is, you have more power over cancer than you might think. First, let's start with the basics. What does a healthy gut actually do? It's much more than food processing. Our guts play a pivotal role in synthesizing vitamins, metabolizing nutrients, and bolstering our immune system. The trillions of bacteria that make their home down there also help us digest food components we couldn't manage alone. And no matter where your cancer starts, a healthy gut microbiome has been linked to better treatment outcomes and more robust responses to therapies. So we know that at its best, our guts are a powerhouse of health. But what happens when things go awry? As with any part of the body, problems arise when cells begin to die, but don't. Thanks to damaged DNA, a molecule that holds the instructions for cell division and carries genetic info from one generation to the next. Every day, tens of thousands of DNA breaks happen in your cells. That's because our bodies are constantly exposed to things that cause DNA damage, including H. pylori, a harmful bacteria that targets the gut digestive enzymes and even reactive oxygen species, produced by our own bodies as a byproduct of normal metabolism. Luckily, we have ways to counteract this. Our cells have developed complex mechanisms to identify and repair damaged DNA. Most breaks are fixed before they even leave their mark. So, in most cases, our daily wear and tear doesn't result in a permanent cellular injury. But some persistent triggers like chronic inflammation or a Helicobacter pylori infection can tip the scales. When DNA repair fails or isn't carried out correctly, the consequences can be dire. Small changes called mutations can occur in genes that regulate the cell cycle. These genes ensure that cells only replicate when they should and that the process runs smoothly. But with mutations in play, these control mechanisms falter. The result? Cells lose the ability to respond to signals that tell them to stop dividing. Instead, they keep replicating uncontrollably. This unchecked division sets the stage for abnormal cell growth, a hallmark of cancer. And if this sounds too good to be true, it's not. Chronic gut inflammation has been directly linked to increased cancer risks in the digestive tract. H. pylori infection, for example, is a known carcinogen, making it one of many factors that can increase the likelihood of developing gastric cancers. In fact, the World Health Organization classifies H. pylori as a Group 1 carcinogen, the highest possible category. Other microorganisms that colonize the gut can also trigger similar issues. Over time, these tiny disruptions accumulate, pushing the cells further toward becoming cancerous.
To make matters worse, cells aren't the only entities vying for resources in this environment.
As these rogue cells grow, they release chemical signals that call in reinforcements, attracting blood vessels that feed their expansion. The uncontrolled growth eventually forms a tumor, a mass of cells that can spread both locally and distantly through the bloodstream or lymphatic system,
Wreaking havoc on the body.
And the most alarming part, this transformation can be surprisingly swift. We call it the doubling time, the period it takes for a tumor to double in size. It varies significantly mutations present. Generally speaking, the faster the doubling time, the more aggressive the cancer. On average, some cancers can double in size in as little as 2 to 3 days under ideal lab conditions. This means that a small group of cancer cells can multiply into a large colony in a matter of weeks. Of course, real-life conditions aren't as neat. Many factors influence how quickly a tumor grows. For instance, access to nutrients and oxygen, the presence of blood vessels, and the overall health of the individual all play a role. But despite these variables, some cancers demonstrate remarkable growth rates. Take triple-negative breast cancer, for example. A study published in Clinical Oncology documented an astonishing growth rate in a patient.
The researchers observed the progression of the disease over time through imaging techniques. What they witnessed was nothing short of astounding. The cancer went from a cluster of cells that was barely visible to a large colony in just 6 days.
This observation was later backed up by a viral time-lapse video uploaded on YouTube by Dr. Priyanka Wali. The video captured a similar rapid growth of triple-negative breast cancer cells. Under controlled laboratory conditions, the cells were observed to double in number every 10 to 13 hours. This highlights the potential for aggressive breast cancers to grow and spread swiftly. While breast cancer may be top of mind, gut cancers can be equally quick to develop. In a significant study conducted by researchers from the National Cancer Institute and other institutions, they investigated the growth dynamics of colorectal cancer cells. These researchers used advanced imaging technology to track the development of tumors in mice models. Their findings revealed that some tumors experienced an average growth of 4.5 times per day. To put that in perspective, if a tumor contained 1 million cells at noon, it could expand to over 4 million by 6 p.m. that same day. These numbers underscore the potential for tumors to grow exponentially within a single day. So, how long can a tumor go undetected? It's a pressing question, since early detection is often key to successful treatment. However, the answer isn't straightforward and depends heavily on several factors. Some cancers, like those found in the colon, rectum, or stomach, tend to be silent in their early stages, meaning they might not cause noticeable symptoms until they've grown considerably. Others, such as pancreatic cancer, are notorious for being elusive, often lacking clear warning signs until they reach a more advanced stage. But let's focus on the gut, specifically the colon, where about 95% of gut cancers originate. Here's what makes this situation particularly tricky. Colon cancers start off as small clusters of abnormal cells called polyps. These polyps can reside in the colon without causing any significant symptoms for years, even decades. And it is not unusual for these polyps to be present in someone's colon for over a decade before turning into cancer. During this precancerous phase, regular colonoscopies can spot and remove the polyps, effectively preventing cancer from taking hold. However, for those without regular checkups or who don't have access to screenings, these polyps can continue to grow. Once they transform into cancer, these growths can remain silent for quite some time. As the tumor enlarges, it might not produce noticeable symptoms until it's reached a substantial size. At this point, it could be large enough to cause noticeable abdominal discomfort or changes in bowel habits. But by that time, it might have already spread to other parts of the body, making treatment more challenging. It's important to note that the speed of tumor growth isn't uniform across all cancers. Some, like Merkel cell carcinoma, a rare but aggressive form of skin cancer, are known for their rapid growth. In fact, the cancer gets its name from Merkel cells, the type of skin cells it affects, which have a natural doubling time of around 12 to 14 hours. When these cells turn cancerous, this rapid doubling time remains a defining characteristic. This means that a tumor can grow rapidly and reach significant sizes within just a few days. Other aggressive types of gut cancer include carcinoids and neuroendocrine tumors. Carcinoids, found in the gastrointestinal tract, have a variable growth rate, but some can display rapid growth characteristics. Similarly, neuroendocrine tumors, while slower growing, can also exhibit aggressive behavior, particularly those associated with Men's syndrome. All of this emphasizes the importance of staying vigilant.
If you notice any concerning symptoms or have a family history of gut cancers, it's crucial to consult with a healthcare professional promptly.
While some cancers might grow slowly over many years, others, as we've seen, can develop and expand quickly. As we wrap up our exploration of how fast cancer can grow, remember that while some gut cancers can develop rapidly, there are steps you can take to stay informed and proactive about your health. Understanding the warning signs, maintaining a balanced diet, engaging in regular physical activity, and getting recommended screenings can all contribute to the early detection and prevention of cancer. If you found this video insightful, please don't hesitate to share it with friends and family. Together, we can raise awareness and support each other in the fight against cancer. Thanks for watching. Stay well and see you in the next video. Now that you understand how fast cancer can grow, you might be wondering if there's anything you can do to slow it down. Watch our next video. Can diet slow tumor growth? The truth behind cancer-fighting foods. To explore the connection between your diet and cancer growth,